Great awakening, like lords and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken to the simple fact that you are objectively the only being in existence, and that all of your experiences and everything that you go through mentally, emotionally, and physically is all predicated upon what you study and what you know about yourself. See, this reality is made in a way of the same thing as a simulation, and a simulation is a system or process representing its own operation over time, meaning that all of the equations of life that you experience in your life, all of the equations of the basic structure of life, your reality is made to produce the operation of that equation over time as an experience. All the stuff that you go through, you cannot blame another person for what you have done. You cannot blame another person for how you see life. You cannot blame anyone but your own perception, your own expression of your personality. So in order for you to actually know yourself and do the things that you need to do, you must first stop pointing the finger. Stop pointing the finger because you're going to miss the point. When you point the finger at someone, you miss the point. And the point is that in every moment that you experience, whether you like it or not, you are being taught a lesson that you need to know, so that you can integrate it into your thinking process. And when you integrate the lesson that you get from each moment, your growth increases. You begin to grow more. You begin to grow more consciously and know everything and know why you're growing more consciously. See, people go through situations and they feel like they fail. And this feeling of failure, this feeling of failure will trigger certain emotions within your body and make your cells react to those emotions and give you a bodily feeling of depression or sadness or anger or any type of feelings, things that will feel you, the energy that is feeling inside of you, that is feeling your body. Okay. And when you see the things that happen in your life and you think they're setbacks or they're failures, see that feeling is an indicator that you're not looking at the situation in the right point of view. When you're stuck in the illusion of separation, you're stuck in duality, you're stuck in separation from one another, from everyone as being one being, then you will always react in a way and respond to a way that is not proper for your own developmental issues and your own developmental processes. See, that feeling that you get, that turns your thinking away from the objective reality is an indicator. It's an indicator that your mind is not looking at the reality for what it actually is. When your mind is not looking at this reality for what it actually is, that means you're not on the right path. You are not on a path, so that means you are not going anywhere and you are being stagnant. The only path, the only true path is to objectively look at reality and use the objective facts that reality holds in your daily life to better and grow. Better everything around you by bettering yourself and your own mentality. When things happen in your life, it happens because you are meant to be in that exact situation at that exact time, the exact space, and that exact time to experience that moment, to realize that your mind is projecting a reality for you to gain more knowledge from it, to gain more experience from it, to gain more wisdom. And you can only get wisdom through knowledge being applied. So when you take out of that situation what needs to be applied to your life to change your situation, that creates divine wisdom. That creates divine order. You are now in alignment with all of that is, and you being a piece of all that is affecting the all of that is and increasing the growth and betterment of all that is, because you are taking the initiative. You are taking the initiative to better your own consciousness through focused intent. That is your true money. People out here worried about money, worried about women, worried about all of these attachments that do not benefit them mentally. They're worried about cars, they're worried about chains, they're worried about shoes. But the last time I checked, you have feet that connect to the earth. The earth is there for a reason, and you were born naked for a reason. You're born without all of these material possessions for a reason. But you see, many don't think about that. When you start thinking about these things and asking these certain types of questions, like, how does this benefit me? Like, why am I born naked? What does the soil do? What does the earth do? How did I come from the earth? But now I'm in a society that's in every way doing its best to disconnect me or keep me from connecting to the earth. You got grocery stores instead of vineyards. And fields of food that people can easily just go to and eat their food. You got these water systems, these water systems that add all of these unneeded, unnecessary chemicals to your water. Chlorine, for instance, disconnects you from connecting with the sunlight through your melanin. It damages your melanin. It damages your DNA. But you know what repairs DNA? Standing on the ground for over 20 minutes, walking on the ground, connecting with the earth, bonding with the earth. That is why children, that's why our offspring loves to play in the dirt. If they are introduced, if they know about the ground and they are introduced to the earth. It's even worse if they're kept in the house all of the time, or they're kept in a city or society that doesn't have much earth to actually go and experience. It doesn't have much earth to actually bond with. So this process of bonding, your natural self bonding with the earth, is also the process of your natural mind bonding with your experience. Your natural experience bonding with your own consciousness and how it's supposed to be. See, if you are grounded in facts, if you are grounded in objective facts within your mind, then you'll be grounded on the earth. You'll be grounded and connected to the earth. Because the earth is in all of the stars and the planets and everything in your objective reality of what you actually see is the foundation of all information. But these things come from things that are unseen. All frequency, all energy is unseen first. There you have an electromagnetic spectrum, and a small percentage of that spectrum is actually visible light. And then on top of that, your body only takes in, your eyes only take in a small percentage of visible light. So all of reality is not what you think it is. You have to seek deeper. You have to be willing to learn every moment. You have to be willing to change your perspective about life. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to change your situation and your experience of any situation. As long as it is not harming yourself, it is for the growth and the betterment of the all. So this is what you should do. Take your perspective, study your natal chart, look at how you view things and why you experience the certain situations that you are experiencing. What types of energies are in your environment? Why are you here to experience them? And what can you do about your perception of the experience? You have debilitations and you have exaltations in your natal chart. You have a sequence of planets and signs and houses that determine what is not beneficial within you, or what needs to be used within you for betterment of the all. And then you have exaltations, which are different sequences of planets, signs, and houses that tell you what you already have innately that will better the all, instead of having to redo a few things within your mind to do it. So it's all about betterment. Your whole natal chart is for betterment. When you become conscious of your natal chart and you know yourself, then you can constantly stick with that betterment, no matter what. Because when you get a thought that you know is not true, when you get a thought that you know is just your perception, once you know the objective facts, then you can automatically turn away from it. You can automatically replace it. You can intentively replace your perception so that you can have better thoughts, instead of taking in or forming or aligning yourself with the thoughts of victimization, depression, and separation. Then you can utilize your mind to bring forth unity, acceptance, and growth. Self-empowerment is what you're here to gain by any means necessary, as long as it is not harming the body, as long as it's not harming the reflections of your cells, as long as it is not harming the earth and your environment, and only making it grow and better. When people do things to you, when you quote unquote people do things to you, why? How did you get around them? Who placed you in that situation? Who keeps you in a situation if you have been placed there since birth? You're the only person. You are the only thing in existence. And I'm going to break it down to you very quickly, very briefly. The sun is your mind. The only thing that exists is the mind. But you see, the mind, objectively, the only thing that exists is the mind, but the mind wants to experience life in all possible ways. So in order to experience all possible ways, it has to divide its thinking through thoughts. All of these different thoughts, all these different thinking styles, all these different ways that atoms move, all these different ways that cells are made within the body to aid within the growth and betterment of their body. Through biology, we know this. There is only one thing where all biological life comes from, and that is DNA. You see, DNA is a fractal version of the mind, just like the sun is a fractal version of your own mind. And when you see where it all comes from, then you know that there is no need for all of the dogma, all religious dogma, or racism, because we are all one being within a body, within bodies, here to help each other further our progress through the study of the simulation. The definition of a simulation is a system or process. It represents its own operation over time, and it is used for study. It is used so that you can study something. What are you studying? You see, DNA is the precursor for all biological life, but out of DNA comes all genes and gene expressions. Just like your mind connects with so many thoughts throughout the day, because it wants to express something. It wants to experience something. It wants to learn. The DNA gives out all these different genes and genetic codes and gene expressions and phenotypes and genotypes in order for it to be expressed and experienced as a body, as a living organism. But if you are not using the objective facts to make your body a living and breathing and active, mentally active, focused organism, then you have no purpose. Yes, you have being, but being is before purpose. In being, there is no purpose unless you make it, unless you create that purpose, unless you manipulate your own energy, manipulate thoughts, manipulate energy with your thoughts, consciously, for the betterment of everything. Someone telling you something about yourself, man, somebody telling you something about yourself, and you get upset, it's because you ain't learning the lesson. It's because you're not actually listening. It's because you're not actually listening and you're not learning the lesson within that moment. That's what the feeling is an indicator of. That's why you get filled with that. And you don't let the emotion go through. The energy that's all around you is constantly in motion. When you block that energy from going through, it gets stuck within your body and affects your cells. Your cells are the ones that give you senses to feel something. So when you get filled with an energy that's in motion and is trying to get through you in a more flowing type of way, in an easier type of way, an objective way, just letting it flow. But you're getting filled with this energy and motion because you're blocking it, and that creates a feeling. So when your mind is right and you're experiencing all this reality, your situations that you don't like and your dislikes and all of that, it's to teach you. And when you're holding on to a feeling, it means that you have not accepted that as a fact within your reality. You have not accepted the objective facts of the situation. Of course, everyone that's around you is speaking to you through subjectivity, but the underlying thing of our reality is objectivity and objective facts. So we must train ourselves. We must reprogram our subconscious minds to experience different lives, to experience more things that we like, but to not live in comfort, to not be stagnant, to not be complacent, to constantly move forward, dealing with the challenges and the obstacles and the circumstances that we need to overcome and learn from. JAH MASHIAC is here to motivate and liberate those who find challenges hard to overcome. JAH does this more and more every day. JAH teaches more and more about abundant living through the workings of mentalism and all of the hermetic principles every day, and by having higher morals and principles for yourself on a daily basis, more and more every day. So take this message and do not take it lightly. Get the seed out of this message so that you can plant it within your mind, and so it can start growing. And when you start seeing the fruits from that growth, the good fruits from the growth of objective facts, and knowing the objective facts and implanting that within your subconscious as a cycle of regenerative experiences, then proclaim it and tell others and give it out. Give that information out. You must constantly focus on this information every single day, all day, in order to change your mind in the way that you see reality, in the way that you react and respond to things. I love myself, family. Just a quick message. I got some more videos coming with some mind-blowing information. So share and subscribe. Peace.